Hello, hello, hello. My name is Jared Wright, and this is the Who, What, How podcast. And today I got the man, the myth, the Morristown legend. Let me tell y'all something, man. This guy
Hey,
right
yo.
here used to make me so angry. Like at a time in my life where I didn't think I could, I needed to be nurtured. He was angering me more. Tyquan Griffin, how you doing, man?
Crazy, Jared. I'm good, man. I'm good. Like I said, you know what I mean? I'm just out here trusting God.
Out
I'm
here.
good. That's my answer. I'm out here trusting God, man. Willy-nilly, just out here like, you got me. We good.
Listen, every day.
Every
Every
day.
day. It's a faith walk every
Yes,
day.
sir. Absolutely.
For a little bit of context on this guy. So he's a year older than me.
Yes.
He graduated Morristown 2003.
Yep.
I graduated 04.
Yep.
Man, crazy jump shot, crazy just athletic ability.
Thank you.
Super nonchalant about it. Like, I think he really is. If anybody has any questions about why Jared started doing martial arts, he's one of the people that I wanted to kick.
As soon as I get the ball, it's just karate kicks. Oh, what the heck?
Like, get him out of here, man.
Jared,
like,
what you doing, man?
We gotta take him out the game. You got a bounty on.
But they used to, and that's why a lot more times than none. I remember when we were in high school, like people would play horse or out for money. I could never play. And then I remember people stopped trying to play defense on me and just started punching me and hitting me and stuff. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy, bro. What's wrong with y'all? Like, it just became a thing. So you're not the only one that like wanted to kick me. People actually did it before.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Saying you can't. You can't actually. What's wrong with y'all?
I don't know, man. They ain't even try after a while. They just started kicking me and hitting me. I'm like, yo, y'all tripping.
But yeah, so I invited you on the show. You actually expressed interest in coming on.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And I'm super, super excited. I was honored by this, just you reaching out, you taking the time to fill out the survey.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry it took so long.
Nah, it's fine, man. It's all good. It's all
just
good.
Life been lifing.
That's why I said I'm just out here. All I can say is I'm just out here trusting God. Life been lifing for all of us. So
and if I'm being totally transparent, I haven't.
Okay.
Because God was like, yo, you're going to leave the bank and I want you to go podcast. And I'm like, God, this doesn't make any sense.
I'm not going to do this. Yeah.
You want me to go leave the cushy job at the bank to go podcast? For what? And I think I'm really coming to a place now where I'm starting to understand the why. Like, I wanted you to go do this actual thing. Or to do both. Like, I need you to do this and that in the podcast space.
Yeah.
But it's still like, I'm like, where is this money coming from, God?
Yeah.
We got to eat every day.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, facts. Listen, I feel you on the entrepreneur thing because that's what I did when I started my business, like T-shirt that I'm wearing. You know, I know we weren't going to jump right into it, but I work with autism. I ended up starting a day program for special needs. Like, and I'm like, so it's like I never in my wildest dreams thought I was going to be a business owner, number one, but a business owner for that helps people with special needs, number two. Like, and that's why I say I'm just out here trusting God, because the way I even got into starting the business was I made her my business partner. This lady came up to me. Her name is Marisa. And she goes, we were at the Arc of Mars and we were working there. And I was like with my clients or whatever. She goes, I don't know why we sit here and do this, because we could do it ourselves. And then I looked at her and I was like, I don't think you know who you just said that to. I don't think you know. And I was like, I'll get back to you. And now here we are thriving. Since we really, I say we opened 2018 and, we made it through the pandemic. We made it through all of these things and like, we're still here and growing. So like I said, I'm just out here trusting God, because I would have never told you that was going to be in my plans. And here I am, you know what I mean? So.
Well, and I think like for me, like, I'm like, Ty, like when did he start to become passionate about special needs and like all of that sort of stuff? And I feel like anything and everything isn't as relevant to people until it comes to your front door.
Yeah,
So you're
word.
like, oh man, like, oh, black racism or
Mhm.
equity and equality and things like that are more prevalent in the black community because we
Yeah.
deal with it, we experience it.
Yeah, word.
And so I saw the things you were doing, but I hadn't had anybody in my life outside of my cousin who had autism.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
didn't really have like the passion behind it to figure out where your passion was coming from.
Okay. Yeah.
And so now that my son does have autism, like, man, like it's so dope. Just the community of supporters that
Mhm.
are in that space to try to provide comfortable environments for people who have autism
Yeah.
and the ability for those people to listen to one
Mhm.
another, I think is the most important thing. Like I don't want it to be something that I think you should have.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
listening to you to help create the thing you're telling me you should have.
Mhm.
But so what is your passion for like special needs or just autism in general come from?
Um, I don't even think it started with like just autism. If you remember me in high school, I was a people person. You know what I mean? Like I got along with everybody. If you ever remember, like of course I hung out with I hung out with you sometime because you hung out with John, and that crew. Like I was like I guess you could call it like a crew hopper because I just got along with everybody. And that started initially just me being a caretaker in general, like growing up the way I grew up, helping out my mom, helping raise my brother, and even till this day, just caretaker. If you look up caretaker, I should be in the thing like this. There's all of the people that I take care of, or that I make sure are in good positions, if you will. So I guess even in like high school and like it's funny because I was bad in middle school. They wouldn't You remember regional day? And
No. So
okay.
in middle school,
Yeah.
so I didn't come to Morristown until 2001. My mom
You
had passed,
did. Oh, I
and I
remember.
transferred from Union
Got
to
you.
Morristown.
Okay, we
Yeah,
had this
so
thing in Frilleheisen called regional day, and it was a school that was literally across the like the baseball field, and it dealt with special needs. They wouldn't let me go because they said I was too bad. And I wanted to go. Like, I'm not bad. Like, blah blah blah. But they was like, nah, we ain't sending you over there, bro. You're not gonna listen. You probably gonna make fun of the people. I'm like, nah, I would never do nothing like that. But just being a caretaker and being around like people, I guess I kind of like if you know me growing up, if I seen somebody being made fun of, I wasn't gonna sit there, especially somebody with like and I knew had special needs because kids are ignorant. If we're being honest, in most parts they don't care. But and I was the type of person that was running over there like, "Yo, stop, man, leave this cat alone," and I like walk him down the hallway or something like that. And like I just took to whomever. And I can remember the first time that like I was working. I think I was working at the Y, and we had somebody with special needs, and you know, he really like migrated towards me. We were really cool and stuff. So long story short, my boy got me a job working at a group home when I was like, I don't even know how old I was. I don't remember. But it kind of like took off from there. I was like, all right, cool. I went to school. I went back to school, got my master's degree in psychology with a specialization in applied behavior analysis. And now, right now, I'm sitting for the exam to become a BCBA, along with owning the being one of the owners of a day program. But I mean, initially, it just like I said, like I don't even know where the passion came from. The more I worked with them, I just noticed that I didn't hate my job. I
mm,
didn't hate going to work. It wasn't them per se that it was the reason that I hated going to work. It might have been the people outside of them that that deterred me from wanting to go, but it wasn't them. The
yeah.
one thing I would say is that if people don't give people with autism enough credit or enough credit. So like they're smarter than what you think they are. And people don't know that. And it's not a good thing all the time because you're not letting them flourish. Like sometimes parents even, hinder their growth because they feel like, oh, I feel so bad. He has autism, so I'm gonna do this and that and this. And it's like, no, if you treat treat them the way you would treat a normal kid and watch how they flourish. Like, seriously, you know? So I would say that the more I got into like that population in that area, the more of a passion I grew for it. And then, like I said, it was just like out of nowhere, my business partner was like, we could do this. And I'm like, we could. And, here we are. But, my passion continues to grow. It goes from that to like still wanting to like shoot around every once in a while, like being fit, and to like music and like voiceover projects is what I'm getting into next. And I want to do like Foley and like all types of, like, I just love the top 3 things would be like music or audio recording and mixing, like all that audio stuff. And I guess you could say like fitness and like and the autism and like being the behaviorist or the day program owner and just working with them, working with the population. And of course, family. My kids are like my everything. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. It's interesting you say that, because I remember, we got the diagnosis as parents. I think he was 2.
Okay.
No. He was 3. He was 3 by the time he got the diagnosis, and he couldn't do. There's a program in Georgia called Babies Can't Wait or something like that.
Okay.
And he was too old to do that. Like for him to be revved up into that program, and might have been 2.5, and by 3 he had to be enrolled in what's called the Ready program.
Okay.
And so, and the Ready program allowed him to go to like the local public school and start having teachers work with him, and behavioral specialists, and speech therapists, and occupational therapists, and so on and so forth. But I remember as a parent, like getting this news and like, man, like I don't know how I'm going to be able to support him. I can't. It's almost feeling like the handicap was on my end, as like I don't know what he's going through at times, and so I won't know how to help him through things. But then the last part of it, which was the part that I really, with being transparent, I had a problem with, was just the interaction when I got around other people.
Okay.
So we would go to we go out to a restaurant. We would go out to wherever, and Jay's stimming, or he's, whatever. And you're like, Jay,
like,
Jay,
stop,
Jay,
chill,
Jay. Like, you know what
cut
I'm
it
saying?
out.
Like, we gotta go.
They staring at us. Cut it out.
Right. And it took some time to realize that we were more critical of Jay than everybody else was. Like, they're like, after a while, we went to like we were going to like baseball games or basketball games, and they're like, no, he's cool. He's cool. Let him do his thing.
Let him do it.
That's all right. It's okay. And I'm like, I'm more agitated at how it's impacting people, or how I'm perceiving people are impacted by it.
But what's crazy? I think that's just, even like me, like my kids aren't diagnosed or anything, but when my daughter's doing something and I'm like, yo, cut it out. Like, what are you doing? And the people around me like, nah, she's young. Like, it's cool. And I'm like, but it's not. But okay. Like, you know what I mean? So don't even feel guilty about that, because that just happens in general. And, like, and we were talking about beforehand, like in the book, that's one of the things I talk about. Like, honestly, because like in some cases, people just need to mind their business. Mind your business.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you. And guess what? By you doing what you're doing, you're not helping. You're actually fueling the fire by, oh, can I do anything? Can I take my phone out and like take a video or take a picture? You're not helping, because you don't even know if this kid is looking for attention, and you're giving them attention. You're fueling the fire, especially if there's a behavior going on. You're fueling the fire, and now the behavior is going to get worse because they know they have an audience.
Yeah.
So in most cases, like it's all good. Like, I got you. Like, I hear you, bro. Definitely.
Yeah. So, and then like you said, treat them like they're quote unquote normal. So we started doing things and being, so once we got over that obstacle mentally, spiritually, emotionally, of like, it's going to be okay. Like, he's fine.
Good.
Like, they're fine. You know what I'm saying? Started doing more stuff with him. And now it's like, every year it's like, we play baseball. Like, how old is he? Like, he's 10. Oh, he's grown so much. He's doing this now. He's doing that now. He's over here. He's speaking.
But you did the right thing though. See, what a lot of people don't do is they don't do what you did. You started with the ABA. You started with all of that stuff, and you started with the normalcy, if you will, when he was super young. So by the time he is 10, by the time he is 15, 18, you're going to see the difference in him and somebody who sheltered their kid and now wants to try to get help around 10 or 15. And it's like, no, it's been how many years and you just expect them to. I'll give a great example. There are people out here that I even know of who they say, can you potty train my son? Ma'am, your son is 30 years old. I can potty train your son. But the weird part about it, or the crazy thing about it is, like, if I potty train your son here at my program, right, that doesn't guarantee that your son's going to be potty trained at home. Like, what do you expect me to do if you're not doing it?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people will get to where we are with like the day program and think that we can work magic. And I'm like, no, like, you're not doing it. What makes you think it's going to, you know, if you're not doing it and you're the parents and stuff, why do you think it's just going to magically appear for me to do it? Like, no, it's not going to work out that way. You know, like, these are things that you have to start doing when they're young. And it's not easy. It's not easy for somebody without autism to be potty trained. Somebody with autism, it's probably going to take longer and it's going to be a harder road. But the more work you put in while they're younger, the better off they will be, if you will, as they grow, you know?
Bro, we about to be. See, this is this stuff. Man. We about to be vulnerable.
Yeah, word. I'm saying,
we about to be vulnerable.
We good.
So when I met my wife, now Chelsea, this was 4 years ago now. So Jay's 10. He was 6 at the time. He was not potty trained.
Okay, got you.
He was not. And middle of the pandemic, Chelsea was like, yo, this has got to stop.
Yeah, we're going to do this.
This has got to stop.
Yes,
and it
sir.
felt like such this big weight. But like even less than like changing a 6-year-old's like pull up was like that's a weight. Like you gotta carry pull-ups everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you go? And now we gotta find a bathroom, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was like, we about to get this boy potty trained.
Yeah,
like,
we gonna do this. Yeah.
Like, bro, it was like 5 days. And like, boy ain't peeing in the bed. Boy not doing, like, I'm like, that was all I did.
But see, that's the thing. And that's what, when we were speaking earlier, I say, like, you didn't even, and it's not even anything that you just didn't think at the time. Like, you know, he got this diagnosis. I don't have time to do this. It's going to be difficult and da-da-da-da. But that's why I say people need to give them more, like, give them the benefit of the doubt in most cases, because I'm telling you, they're not stupid. And on top of that, like, they know, like, they're smart and they know who they can get over on, who they can't get over on. Once they learn who it is, they're going to keep going for it. But once you tell them, like, no, I'm not that person, you're not going to get over, they're like, oh, okay, I'm not going to play with him. I'm not going to play with him. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, you 10,000% correct. So as a dad who's experienced it, you know, intimately for the last 10 years, and it's been some hard roads, but I will say it's been more positives than negatives for sure. And then you always celebrate the big win, like or the small wins. Like,
absolutely.
Man, like last week he did he formed a sentence the right way.
Yeah,
I am that. I'm like,
but if they see that you appreciate that, this makes them want to work harder towards it.
Yeah. So
if they're not being reinforced, if there's no positive reinforcement, why are they going? You know what I mean? If you're just like, if they haven't said a sentence in their life and they finally say one at 10, and you just are like, oh, okay, instead of being like, wait, what? Because once you give them that, they're like, oh, okay, so this is what I'm supposed to be doing, kind of like it starts to click. We know that the only issue is that things lag. Like, that's it. It just takes them longer to learn in most cases.
Yeah.
You know, that's really the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been fantastic. I guess, like, so thank you for everything that you do.
I appreciate
hold
that.
On, where's my applause button, man? Let me turn my, you know what I'm saying?
I
Thank
appreciate
you for that, man.
man. Yeah, man. No
Hey,
doubt. I
man.
appreciate that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, so with that being said, let's get into the music stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Hold on. Let me do it. Let me do a non-guilty plug. So
oh, go ahead.
www.ddawl.com.
All
Boom.
right,
That's
what does DDAWL stand for?
Developmental Disability Awareness with Love. So we call it DAO. People say
Okay,
DAW, but no, I pronounce it since I made it up. It's DAO.
DAW.
It's
Okay,
DAO. It's DAO. www.ddawl.com. And we're based in Boonton, New Jersey. And we do transport for the most part. I'm not coming all the way to like Kingdom Come to get you, kid, though. But we can, if you call, we can set something up.
are there specific ages that you guys support, or is it
Yeah. So at this, we're a day program, so we get people out of high school. So once they
okay?
graduate high school, they come to us. Yeah.
Wow,
So yeah,
wow.
yeah, and we're starting respite on the 6th to 17th. We're having a campfire where I have a very, very, very super creative. We call her. She's the activities director. She's super creative. So when I say we're having a campfire, she's actually creating a fake fire, and we're gonna sit around the fire and have s'mores, which there will be like real s'mores. We're just gonna have them. We're gonna make them before they get there and hand them out, and they're gonna tell like camp stories, and they're going to sing camp songs. And this is just the initial, hey, we're here type of thing, because I have a whole building that I didn't even that's about to open, that's going to blow everybody away. And I have to actually before I even say the name of it, I was supposed to go ahead and get it trademarked or whatever.
Okay,
So I'm not even going to do it, but I sense it's essentially an arcade with more things that are for autism.
excellent,
And
man.
it's gonna be something that people are gonna be like, what? And I know they're gonna like try to copy and buy. That's cool, go ahead. But I'm about to trademark this thing and have fun with it. Just watch.
You heard it here first.
First facts, no super
Yes,
facts, super facts.
yes, heard it
This
here
is yes.
first.
I haven't even posted like pictures, and so this is really the first time me speaking about it in a public situation. Absolutely.
I appreciate that. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate that.
Yes,
That's
sir. I
exclusive.
appreciate
That's
it.
exclusive right
That's
there, man.
exclusive, bro. We out here. You know what I mean?
All right,
Absolutely.
so music, because I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember in high school you being like I was in chorus. You weren't in chorus with me. But
Nah, I
no, no,
played
no,
the
no. You wouldn't have been though. You wouldn't have been because I didn't get in chorus until senior year because I needed to fill classes and they were
but if
like,
you
you get in chorus.
remember, I was in orchestra. You remember me carrying around the big upright bass sometime? Like I was in
Oh
orchestra.
yeah,
I was in,
yeah.
I was in orchestra. I played the violin. I started playing the violin in 4th grade. I played all the way up till 8th grade. And then I switched over to the upright bass like the end of 8th grade, I think. And so from the end of 8th grade to senior year, I played the upright bass. And I wish I would have continued to play, but I stopped, and I'm gonna go back to it, like, because I absolutely loved it. It was great.
What was there somebody in your household that was playing violin or the bass
So
or was
nah, you know what? It's a funny story. My dad sings. He was a singer. He passed away when I was 19, but he was a singer, and it was one of those things where we didn't have like a relationship. Like I grew up, like my dad was around. Not no. I'm just not gonna sugarcoat. My dad wasn't around. My dad wasn't there. My mom raised me, so I knew where I got the talent from, and I didn't want to do it because I knew that's where I got the talent from.
mm,
And I kicked myself because in high school and all that stuff, I wish I did more musicals. Like I wish I did musicals in general. I wish I would have joined the chorus. I wish I would have done all of those things, but you can't go back, right? But I wish I would have. But I was so angry that he wasn't there, and I was going to show him that I didn't need the talent that, like, well, God blessed me with it, but I didn't need the talent that I got from him or from God. I didn't need that specific talent to make it wherever I wanted to go. But like if like a lot of our people in our town were doing music and stuff like that, and like very, very periodically they would come because a couple people knew I could sing, and they would have me do like choruses and stuff, and people would be like, "Yo, that's what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't really, address it that often. But once I think around 19, I just went off a little bit. I just started doing. I think I went into my first recording studio, and it was a home studio. And I walked in and I was like, yo, this is cool. And I looked at the guy and I was like, I write songs because I write poetry. I've been writing poetry since I was like 7.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, so that means you write poetry, you got away with words, you can write songs. Like I told him, like, I write songs. And he was challenged me and he was like, you write songs. He was like, no, you don't. So he put on a beat. And I literally probably wrote a song in 10 minutes. And he was like, yo, this is actually, let me hear you sing it. And da 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 da. So I started working with him with music and stuff like that. But yeah, man, I didn't really portray that side of me in high school. I was more so I'm gonna play basketball or any type of sport like baseball or something like that. And I'm gonna go ahead and leave this music thing over here. But if you ever got in a car with me or if you were ever around me when we were like kicking it, like my friends and stuff, like they all knew I could sing and stuff. So, I just never really tried to nurture that back then. And my reason for it was literally I didn't want to be like my dad.
Got you.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Like that's in my head. I'm like, that's why identity is so important.
Yeah, facts.
Because even like you're going through it, you're like, I know I got it from him, but it really came from God.
Yeah, but you don't have people telling you stuff like that. Like that's the problem. Like I mean, if you could relate, like there were so many choices growing up that I shouldn't have had to make as a child, but I had to make them. Not to say my mother did a great job. She was a single parent. She had my brother and myself, but she did the part of making sure I wasn't a knucklehead, making sure I had food on the table, and making sure that, I had a roof over my head until I got old enough to actually help her with that. That's the part that she did.
Yeah.
So while she was focusing on that, there were other things where, like for instance, I could say I was really good in baseball to the point where Del Barton, and I didn't play in like Mars Plains League and all that stuff. Like I played down the hill and what we call the projects, you know what I mean? We down the hill. I played in that little league. But for some reason, I remember I got approached by a coach from Del Barton, and he was like, all I need you to do is take this test, and you pass this test. I want you to try out for the baseball team. I'm going to get you in Del Barton, and I want you to play baseball. Now, I'm 13, 14, and I'm like, yo, Del Barton's an all-boys school. Yeah, I'm not going there.
Yeah, nah, that's lame. Like, ain't no way.
Why? Like, punch me in my face. Like, what are you talking about? Make me go. Like, if my daughter came up to me and was like, I'm not going, why? And I'm not like, I'm going to force you, but somebody could have easily been like, no, this is great for you. And me having just the know-how to know about, like, if somebody would have just been like, yo, this is a great opportunity for you, especially because you love to play baseball. This is what could happen. Blah, 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 blah. I would have been out.
Yeah.
Marstown, what? Out of
just like vision.
Yeah.
Vision. You know what I mean? Like greater vision for what, like when you're 13, when you're young.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say 13. When you're 24.
Yeah,
you really only can see what's right in front of you.
Yeah.
And so you kind of have to have, that's why mentorship is so important.
Yeah, no, facts.
To have somebody who's, or like coaches, like, oh, why does Floyd Mayweather need a coach?
No,
like he's been boxing, he's 50-0. Why does he still need a coach?
Exactly.
Because you kind of need somebody that's sitting back that has a picture of everything that's happening that can give you that perspective.
Exactly.
So when you go into the fight again, you're like, you have that perspective too.
Exactly.
Like, oh, he's saying this or he's doing that or he's breathing this way or, you know what I mean? Like you got to have somebody zoom out a little bit.
Exactly.
And so when you only have the perspective of the player at 13 and your like hormones are going crazy
You know what I
and
mean?
all these other things that are happening. You not like, listen, I may not even be here when I'm
Yeah.
20. I gotta
You
get
know what I
these
mean?
girls.
Yeah. See what's going on out here. And that's the
Yeah.
crazy thing about it is, like, and you know, we're being vulnerable. We're talking like I wasn't even out here smashing nothing like that. Like I wasn't the biggest, you know what I mean? I'm out here working and doing stuff like it just I don't know. It just was weird to me, not even just walking around the school and not even seeing like one girl like all day unless it was a teacher or something. And you know, we have our regrets, and it's just like, yo, bro, I just wish somebody was there to be like, nah, this is gonna be good for you. Trust me, blah blah blah. Because I listened growing up. I really listened to the mentors that I did have, and like the people that were in my life that would tell me to do things. But you know, that's just something like, you know, that didn't happen. And I hear you with the vision and stuff, because as I got older, that's when I started getting, you know, vision, and, you know, God's given me a vision that other people don't have, which is why I was able to start, you know, my business. Cause being where we are now, I saw this before. And like the people that I even started it with, they were even my wife, people were skeptical. Like, nah, I don't know about this. I don't know. And I'm like, listen, trust me, like this is going to work. Like, you know, like I'm already 4 years ahead of y'all. Like, trust me. And now that we have like our own cul-de-sac, like we have 3 buildings on a campus and blah, blah, blah. And I just sit back and I'm like, I'm not saying I told you so, but I'm just like, bro, like I'm glad y'all listened. Like y'all
Like
took you know what I mean? Like, thank you for
God put
trusting
the
me.
God put
Yeah.
this in me. Like it's
It's
not. It seems crazy.
yeah.
It's
No,
gonna
absolutely.
always going to seem crazy when God's
Especially if you
involved.
don't have the vision, though. Like, if that's the thing, a lot of people don't have the vision that you're talking about. People
Yeah.
don't. It's not a thing that like regular people like have. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people don't have that vision. Because even with like back in the day when we talk about me playing basketball and stuff, like I was going to the NBA if you asked me back then, but I also saw the work that I needed to put in, and I didn't mind putting in that work. And as long as I put in this work, I'm gonna do this. You know what I mean? Like I always had like vision, and in most cases, I've accomplished what I set out to accomplish. Like I'm not in the NBA, obviously, but yeah, in most cases, when I have a vision of something, I go for it, and I've been able to, by the grace of God, just accomplish these things. And you know, I've been blessed in that way. And then, you know, like I said, I'm just out here trusting God because why not?
Yeah. Yeah. What so I know that you mix, so you talk about Full Sail and things like
Yeah.
that. So like what caused you to go from creation to audio engineering and get into that space?
Not having to pay for it.
Okay.
Let's be real, right? All right, if I do this, if I know how to, because I knew how to mix, I didn't know the why, the how, that I needed to know exact. Why am I EQing this way? Like I knew how it sounded. It sounds good in my ears,
Yeah.
but it doesn't always sound the way it was supposed to. And I need to know how to get it to this mark and why. So I originally started and wanted to do it so that I could save money and use the money that I would go to the studio for promotion.
Okay.
So that was, you know, if I can just learn this, you know, I will be able to save this money and go ahead and promote myself or pay somebody to go out and pass my stuff out. Or like online now you have all of these things. If you pay monthly, you can da 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 this. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and learn. And also it was to mix other people's stuff too, to make a little bit of extra income too. And
Right.
I guess I'm just a geek because I enjoy it. Like I'm sitting there like, and if I hear something and it sounds like, I just get excited. Like, oh, that sounds dope. Like, did you hear that? Put a little bit more reverb on that. Yo, yeah. All right, I'm about to put the echo on it and watch how it just boop 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 boop. Yo, that's fire. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
to be able to create, like if I'm in my space, like down here, and I'm singing and there's nobody with me, and I'm just down here like, oh, that sounds great. Like you just get lost in a whole nother world. And it's so fun. You know what I mean? Like it's super fun to just be like being able to do it yourself. Cause don't get me wrong, the camaraderie is cool. But if I'm down here like, all right, this is how I'm gonna start the instrumental. Cause I'm gonna make the instrumental too. I'm going doing all of that. And then we singing, we making the song and things like that. You start to hear, you know, just the whole process is exciting. The whole
What
process is exciting.
What yeah, you're saying a lot of things. So we have same shameless plug for myself.
Nah,
We
yeah.
have a listening lounge in Atlanta or north of Atlanta. It's a town called Swanee.
Okay.
And if you are ever down in Atlanta and you want to hear your stuff on $30,000 speakers,
Mm-hmm.
hit the it's like, bro,
Listen,
it's like everything that you
let
EQ
me
you will hear.
let me tell you how I'm thinking about taking a solo trip soon, somewhere. So don't tempt me, like,
Yeah, man. Like, and look,
bro.
look, look, look. And there's no limitation. Like we got $30,000 speakers, we got $8,000 speakers. We just added some stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, like people come in and like, yeah, man, we're gonna be here for like 30 minutes to 3 hours later.
Yeah, exactly,
Dang, let me play
exactly.
this, and then you'll leave and be like, man, I wish I would have played this. Can I come back? Like
Yeah.
it's just like yeah,
Dang, I got another track. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So whenever you're ready, just let me know.
I got you.
Who are some of your biggest influences in music?
Um, it's funny though because I'm more of an R&B guy.
Okay,
My favorite is Music Soul Child. It's
okay.
old Music Soul Child. Donnell Jones. Like if I had to like if I was if I was signed or whatever, like just popular, and I had two people that I would like to work with, like on my album, it would be Music, it'd be Donnell Jones, and then you got to get my man. What's the writer? He writes for JD is Brian. I'm so terrible. And he's wrote for like Jagged Edge. He's wrote for freaking man. This guy he did most of Chris Brown's first album. And it's killing me because I usually know his name right off top, but when you put me on like the spot, I just it's crazy but I'm gonna find it right now and I'm gonna tell you who he is and I'm gonna keep talking while I do it. But yeah, who else?
It's funny.
Go
Like
ahead.
I'll talk about something like because I make music too. So like some of my
Yeah.
biggest influences right now are like FKJ. So it's not even hip hop.
Okay.
FKJ, Tom Mish, Timbaland, obviously when it comes to
I was getting
beats.
ready to say like I wasn't even done with the production part because Tim. Oh man, I mean
Uh,
even JD like because
yeah,
he got some. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Even like some of the not so big talent names that are out there
Hmm.
that are working on stuff that are either blending tracks or lo-fi hip hop type stuff. Is There's a lot of creative people in music
Yes.
that people don't know about that I'm like, bro, you don't know who this guy like. I love and hate getting into hip hop or not
Mhm.
hip hop music debates with people who just listen to hip hop.
Brian Michael Cox. Sorry, you know who that is,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
bruh.
yeah, yeah,
Savage.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I just
Nah, it's all good. It's all good.
once I saw it, I was like, oh, there he
Yeah,
is, Brian.
that's him. That's him.
That's him. But yeah, go
Um,
ahead. Sorry.
yeah, no, it's a lot of people. We went to a estate sale yesterday,
Hmm.
and the person that passed was an entertainment attorney,
Oh wow.
and he was one of his clients was Michael Jackson,
Ooh,
and
that's
so
dope.
Michael had gifted him a Letterman jacket from the Thriller video,
Wow,
and it was for sale.
that's super dope.
So we bought it,
Wow,
and then
what?
we sold it.
Yeah, I
so
would hope that
so
was a smart thing.
it's,
Oh my
it's well, I know
goodness.
I wanted to keep it so bad because it's so
Yeah,
fire.
yeah.
But we sold it to Duran. Duran wanted it.
Okay.
Duran. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's on his way up to Jersey soon. But
Okay, got
man,
you,
man,
got
man,
you.
there was he had been to all the Grammys. He was
That's
gifted stuff
crazy.
by the Grammys.
Woo.
We bought a book from BMI that he had from BMI that was like the 75-year anniversary. And it had a letter from the CEO of BMI from like
Wow.
1994,
So
like signed.
he was really in it though. Like
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
yeah.
So like stuff like that, people who once again nobody knows who that guy is, but
Yeah.
everybody in the industry knows who that guy
Knows who that guy is.
is
But that's
Brian
like
Michael Cox.
that's the thing I've come to learn too. Like I don't care about being in the spotlight anymore. I remember at one time like I wanted to be like the famous rapper or blah blah blah. But like now I'm kind of like, I don't even want to make music to I kind of want to make music for like TV shows. That's what I'm going to start working on, like doing music for TV shows and like movies. And like I said, like if you know what Foley is, it's the sound effects that are in movies. Because most of the crazy thing is most of the sound effects in movies aren't done on set. They're done away from set in what's called a Foley studio. Now, if you look it up, and it's Foley, YouTube Foley, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's amazing. And the only reason I know about this is because Full Sail. I had no clue, because the first class they do for you is, if you couldn't be in your, genre, like what would you do? And I was like, I'm here just to learn how to mix and master. Like, I don't really care about this other stuff. But then
Yeah.
they made us do like a cartoon and put like the sound to it. They sent us this blank canvas. The only thing that the cartoon came with was like a beat. And the cartoon, it was like a little guy. He was walking through. He woke up, blah, blah, blah. So you had to make all the sound effects for it. And I was like a kid in the candy shop, because I have my kids have toys and stuff. So I'm looking for a bell to ring, like the phone's ringing. What come on? Oh, I can use this, bring, bring. And then I have to mix it. And I'm like, yo, this is awesome. So like you can see me geeking out now. Like, yo, I absolutely want to do that. Foley and like mix and master, just like music, like I said, make my own music, and just get it out there for movies and stuff. Or even if I could like sell a song to somebody, because like if we want to be honest, like I'm still having fun with it. And if we're talking money and business, the people behind the scenes make more than the people who are up front.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people realize that.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Because
you're
you
right.
don't, yeah, the people behind the scenes aren't on they're not on a contract like the actual artist is. So the artist is giving their record label or whomever, unless they're independent artists, they're giving them a lot of money. And, the people who are behind the scenes are just collecting that check. Like, here goes the song. I'm in the studio with you. Oh, thanks for that check. I see. Ooh, put it in the bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no ties to it. Like they don't owe this percentage to anybody. You know what I mean? It's like that check says Tyquan Griffin on it. And it's like, that's me. All right. Thank you. Put this in the bank. And so it's not only fun, but it's like, all right, cool. Now you're making a decent amount of money too, doing what you love to do. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
What is something that you know about music now that you wish you knew when you got started? Or what are some things? You don't have to choose just one.
Mm-hmm. Something that I know about music now. I would say honestly, it would more so be about like the mixing aspect of it. Like I learned that it's really important to have your sound like to have your music mastered and mixed, because and I learned this back when, if you remember, I don't know if you remember, but I did have a song on 97.1 for like a week or two, and it was pretty dope. And I would have people calling me like, yo, is that you? I'm like, are they playing? And yeah, that's me. Like, oh, and I can remember when they played it the first time. It was at like 3 in the morning. It was literally at 3 in the morning. And I was, because I knew that it was supposed to be debuting, and I'm listening, and it came on, and I was like, oh my god, like this is dope. But before they accepted it, they denied it, because I think I mixed it, and they were like, what is this? Like, what are you what are you giving me? Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it sound, no, man, the beat needs to be turned up, it needs to be EQ'd. And this is like, I knew all of that stuff was, but I'm like, this isn't, what are you talking about? That doesn't sound. So I had to go get it professionally done. And once I gave it to them professionally done, they were like, nah, we can play it. And they played it. And he, I'll say that the DJ who played it was like, yo, the crazy thing is, if you know radio stations, they have a lineup that they're supposed to play. And he threw my song in during the lineup. And he was like, yo, he's like, the good thing about it is Ebro didn't yell at me. And he was like, he said, Ebro usually yells if we do stuff like this. But I don't even think he noticed that it wasn't a song that was like, it was good. Like, it was dope. And I was
Yeah.
like, cool. So that gave them the ability to be able to play it a couple more times, but, so I would say just knowing like about like mixing and having your stuff mixed and mastered the right way, so that you don't get turned away just because the sound isn't the way it's supposed to sound. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. Um, What music, doll? Doll Wars. Doll Wars. What is your doll?
I hate Pro Tools.
What is your doll?
I use Pro Tools, but I hate Pro Tools. I can't stand, and it's the industry standard, whatever, bro. Why? It's not even nice. Like it's complicated and it's annoying. Like I'm not gonna front. I am more of a Logic. I like Logic Pro.
Okay.
I like mixing in Logic Pro. Their actual plugins that it comes with, their standard plugins are outstanding. Outstanding and easy to use. And maybe because I used to use GarageBand and Logic was made, I believe, by Apple, which is GarageBand. So it's easier for me to use.
Just transfer like this.
Yeah. Pro Tools is complicated for no reason. Even though I know how to use it now, and I knew how to use it for a long time, but it took, like, I'm on YouTube, I'm studying, like, it took a long time. And not to say that Logic wasn't, but once you get it, it's so much smoother. Like, and I really like Logic a lot. I rarely record in Pro Tools unless I feel I have to. I make myself do it so that I don't forget how to do it and like I can mix it and stuff. But if I'm going to my go-to, I'm going to Logic ASAP.
Okay. Ableton.
Oh, you like Ableton?
Let's go.
I don't think I've used Ableton in so long. I remember that was one of the first things that I've had, but I don't even think I would remember how to use it right now.
So I have Ableton and Logic. I prefer mixing in Logic. I prefer producing in Ableton. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
So, and I have a push, so that makes it even more, easy to use.
Got you.
That's all the questions I have. I got some real questions now, and it's kind of the purpose of the podcast is to capture who, what, how. So, who is Tyquan Griffin?
Oh man, that's a great question. Humbly, and I say humbly, like honestly, I'm I'm like I told you in the beginning, like I'm a caretaker, a heartfelt, passionate person who will go out of their way to help somebody and make sure that people are good and actually help put people in a position to succeed. Which has unfortunately, and I say this because like it's not even that you have expectations, but you hope that people have the heart that you have in most cases, but it's not like that out here. And that's what we were talking about. Like the world is such a fallen place right now that you put your heart out and you give your heart and you do things for people and you can't have expectations of that they're even do things the way you would, love the way you love, handle things the way you handle things. You just have to almost be okay with being who you are and not have any expectations of getting anything back, So so for me, I have my flaws because I'm not a perfect person at all. But I will say that I am a very heartfelt, passionate person who loves to help people, who is on a journey to learn to help himself and stop and kind of let people be where they are because he's been hurt a little too much now.
Got you.
Yeah.
Shout out to you getting baptized, by the way, too, man. Hold on. Let's go, man.
Yo, you peep game? Thank you, bro.
Hey, man. Shout out to you getting baptized, man.
Hey, I appreciate that. Nah, like that happened. That was like I got baptized when I was younger. I was like I was like around 7, maybe 6 or something. I can remember it very vividly, but I know that in the past couple years, I've gone through some things that kind of made me open my eyes. And I'm like, you know what? If I know one thing, I know that God is here for me. I know that I can have these crazy expectations of God and he won't hurt me. He'll just, he's not here to hurt. I can depend on God. I can honestly say that I love God and he shows me that he loves me back without hurting me. So I'm like, yo, I got to give it up for this man. You know what I mean? I got to give it up. Like, cause I don't think I've ever been not spiritual, but I don't think I've ever been to the point where I am now, where I'm craving a relationship because I know that the world is fallen. And I'm trying to surround myself with more people who are wanting to find God, and where none of us are perfect, but I kind of hope that I can find more people who are on a mission like me, and I can, I guess, and I'm just being vulnerable, not be, I guess you can say, not be hurt as much as I have been in the past couple of years by people who, I loved or I thought like had the best interest at heart for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that will push you to a whole nother level and make you just want to seek out things that are better and more spiritual. Because I know for a fact that I couldn't have survived my childhood without God.
Yeah.
Because we won't go into, but I've been through some things like we all have been, and I've always recognized that I wasn't alone, but I never sought it the way I'm seeking it now.
Yeah.
So that was major for me, man. I appreciate that. That's why, like, a lot of people are like, what? Because I wasn't announcing it. It wasn't something that I was doing for attention.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't care about that part of it. But once I did it, I was like, you know what? What made me post that video is, all right, you can post a video of you working out with your shirt off. You can post a video of you making music, but you can't show everybody that you're getting baptized and that you're trying to, further your relationship with God. Why can't you do that?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna post this video then, because if I can do all of that, then I can do this too.
And the right people are gonna celebrate.
Yeah, exactly. Facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
like you're gonna have. Oh yeah, no, the fitness stuff, cool.
Yeah,
It's cool, right?
yeah.
Like it's cool, but
It's
like
dope. It's
if
like,
if something happened tomorrow, God forbid, yeah, that fitness, but the spiritual,
you know what I mean? Yeah,
that's everlasting.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
So,
man.
so I was singing from Georgia,
Yeah,
for you as you came back up. I said, thank God.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So,
Definitely.
second question. So, we know who you are now. What do you want to be remembered for?
I think I want to be remembered for having a great heart in a fallen world. Just never letting this world overtake my character and who I am, because it will and it can. It can. So it's like, he went through this, he went through that. But you know what? Even though he was going through that, he still showed up at my house when I needed help, or he still went and, did that and volunteered here to give canned goods to whomever, or he still, because like, that's just it, right? I just want to do things like that. Like, just continue to have the heart that I've had, and not let this world deter me from being a good person, because it will if you let it.
So the word that I keep, that the Holy Spirit is giving me right now, is like servant. Like
absolutely.
Faithful servant, like
sacrifice,
good and faithful
servant.
Like, like all that stuff. Like you are like, I'm trying to serve. I'm a caretaker. I'm this. I want to be there for you when you and it's so crazy. I read a book last year called The On Purpose Person. The On Purpose Person.
Okay.
And the purpose statement is the start of it is I, Jared Wright, exist to serve by.
Wow.
And that would be your purpose. And how you show up in anything would be that way.
Okay.
And it wouldn't be like so one dimensional, because you're not like, I'm going to serve you only this way. I'm going to serve. I exist to serve you by being a caretaker. Like boom, 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 and you're like, I do this. You know what I mean? So like,
but at the same time, like, you don't want to be the person who's like announcing it. Like it really bothers me when people do things like go give homeless people money and feed homeless people, and they pull their camera out.
Yeah.
What's the purpose? Because like, I've done that on numerous occasions,
right?
Numerous occasions, but you wouldn't know that. Nobody, but I don't care, because I'm not doing it for you. Right. I'm doing it because my man look cold.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go get him a blanket.
Yeah,
or I'm gonna give you some. Yo, you want something to eat, bro? This boom, boom, boom. Like, I don't. Yo, like, you here? Like, you hungry, bro? Blah, blah. Like, it just,
it's a little weird. It's a little weird out here.
Like, what are you trying to accomplish by doing this, sir?
Yeah. And I guess that leads me to the last question. So we know what you want to be remembered for. So how do you plan to accomplish it?
By continuing in the walk that I'm in right now. As long as I continue my walk with God, it's going to happen automatically. because that's the person that he made me, if you will. He's already made me and shown me who I'm supposed to be. And at times, it's harder for me than it is, at others. But as long as I keep my faith, I keep God first, and I don't let this fallen world break me down, I think I'll be remembered by the necessary people. I'll be held up by the necessary people. And the biggest thing is, in God's eyes, I'll be who he sought me out to be. And that's the biggest thing. So
amen.
That's it, man.
Amen. Last question, bro, before I let you go.
Yes, sir.
It's a lighter question.
All right.
I need one music song recommendation.
I want to go. I don't want to just give you one that. That's a good one. Okay. Optimistic by Sounds of Blackness.
Optimistic by Sounds of Blackness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Right now.
Thank you.
Nah, man. Thank you. It's an honor, man.
When
I saw it, I was like, let me hit up my man Jared and see what's up, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. Tyquan Griffin on the pod. You know what I'm saying? Let's
appreciate
go.
You, bro. Appreciate you.
Let's go.
Super dope.
God bless you, bro. God bless your family.
Same with you, man. Absolutely, man. And God bless you for, everything that you're going through and being a stand-up father in a situation that can be very difficult, man. You keep going, and I'm very proud to see the man that you became. So keep going, man. Keep going.
Yes, sir.
Keep going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, thank you for listening to the Who, What, How podcast. Today we had the great entrepreneurial Tyquan Griffin on the show.
It's tygriff.com.
It's tygriff.com.
Yes, sir.
DDAWL.com.
Yeah.
.com. Make sure y'all go.
The It's Ty Griff is where all the voiceover and the music and the shows are. So go there and check that out too.
Yes. and thank you once again, brother. Take care of yourself.
You too, man. Appreciate you.
Peace.
All right,
one love.
Peace. One, bro.